Right, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen, or good evening. For some reason, the system that I've got crashed earlier, and I don't know why. So week beginning Monday the 7th of March, Cambridge City Council, 2 area committee meetings that are happening this week, South area and West Central area. These are going to be online, and these are basically the opportunities for local residents to ask questions on anything they like to their local councillors. And because for the past 10 years, no one's been really advertising these on a consistent and a regular basis, few people know that they actually exist. So it means that we don't get, the real engagement on, for example, the local policing issues that are going to be discussed at South Area Committee meeting, or the state of the town centre, which is going to be discussed at West Central area on the 10th. So I think I'll probably be logging into the one on the 7th at South Area Committee, but probably not on the city centre one, because I haven't been in the city centre for ages, for obvious reasons. Excuse me. We've got East Area Committee, which is actually this, where I'm living now, but I'm on the kind of like southern edge of that. Coleridge, Romsey, Petersfield and Abbey wards. That's coming up on the 17th, so that's next week. There's also on the 15th, papers for the Housing Scrutiny Committee have already been published, and so for those of you who are interested in kind of local housing policy, it's worth just having a look at that, and also looking at the progress that the City Council has made. First of all, on building council houses, because we've built quite a few of late, or rather completed quite a few, and then secondly on the council's view of this new policy Michael Gove, the Secretary of State, has come up with. Moving swiftly on, South Cambridgeshire District Council, we've got the Climate and Environment Advisory Committee coming up also on the 7th of March, 2 p.m. They've got a couple of things on. One of them is on the Cambridgeshire Solar Together programme, which is all about trying to get as many of us to club together and get solar fitted en masse. In the grand scheme of things, we're not moving nearly far enough as we should be. They also published an air quality update on Camborne, and I was kind of worried that actually, if the air quality was shown to be really, really poor, then that would reflect really badly kind of on pretty much everyone. And then they've got this green investments update. Moving swiftly on, I'm not hanging around here. This week we've got audits and accounts, highways and transport, and Hilary Cox's Cosmic meeting. And Cosmic basically stands for Communities, Social Mobility and Inclusion Committee, and so they're dealing with things like, on here they're dealing with anti-poverty and social mobility, domestic abuse, safe accommodation, and they've also got a paper on the coroner services and the mortuary facilities. They've also got an interesting report on all things social mobility from students at the Cambridge University Science and Policy Exchange. What it enables postgraduate students in particular to do is to test their developing knowledge and skills against real-life case studies, where they actually produce the equivalent of a consultancy report for councils and councillors, and effectively take questions on that. I think it's really a good idea. I think more places should be taking advantage of it. A few days before, on the 8th of March, we've got the Highways and Transport Committee, and also this includes the publication of the first draft of the Active Travel Strategy for Cambridgeshire. So this is all things walking, cycling, e-scootering. My take has been for a very long time that the county needs to basically provide segregated cycleways far away from, well, it doesn't need to be far away from, but it just needs to be separated from motor vehicles to make it basically safer and more comfortable for cyclists to travel and encourage more people to do so in, kind of as an alternative to using cars. 2 meetings coming up for the Combined Authority, Audit and Governance, Housing and Communities. And on the Housing and Communities Committee, they've got an update on all things North East Cambridgeshire and also progress on the housing funded as part of the Combined Authority deal, which in the grand scheme of things, Cambridge City Council negotiated with central government to provide funding for several hundred council houses, which I think very few other councils got at the time, and it's just reporting on the progress of that. We've also got the following week the Transport and Infrastructure Committee, and also following that the Skills Committee. The papers for the Transport and Infrastructure Committee are already out. There is a paper on the e-scooter trial and e-bike update. These have been very, very controversial for a whole host of reasons, but this is something really that should have been and probably would have been dealt with by the Department for Transport's policy advisors and civil servants had Brexit not got in the way. But we are where we are, and I will leave it there. So thank you for listening.